We got home from Mass, and Santa had come while we were at Mass. But you're putting yourself in the shepherd's perspective of where they would have been on Christmas night. An orange means you've been good, and a potato means a little naughty as well. Wrap 24 Christmas books up in purple or pink tissue and open one each night in December. Merry Christmas and welcome back to the Catholic Women Podcast. I'm your host, Marie Hansen, and today we are bringing you a very special Christmas edition episode where I surveyed our audience and found the cutest Catholic Christmas traditions that people have for their families that I wanted to share with you. So I'm very excited for this special episode. It's going to be beautiful. It gave me so many ideas for my own family. It was just so heartwarming, and I love Christmas. So this just made me so happy to read people's stories, and I had to share them with you. Before I dive in, I want to thank White Lily Weddings for being our sponsor this season. They are the one-stop Catholic wedding shop for all your Catholic wedding needs. And also, if you are on YouTube, look at this cute shirt. I think I've worn it before, but it's adorable, and it is from the Catholic Dress Co. They are a modest and feminine dress company, but they also have shirts and pants and sets, like matching sets. It's adorable. So go check them out, catholicdressco.com. Okay. Also, I'm sorry, I just have to tell you guys again about our Facebook group. This is actually where I posted for people to share about their Christmas stories. It's in our Facebook group, so go join our Facebook group. It is going to be in the show notes. And then also YouTube, please subscribe over there to help bump the show. We are quite a bit away at the time of this recording, but I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube just so that they will push the show out further to more people. So if you could help, just share the show with one friend who you think would like it, especially on YouTube, and ask them to help subscribe to help bump the channel so we can reach more Catholic women who really need the message of Christ in today's modern world. So thank you. All right, so I'm excited to dive in. I'm just going to be reading. I bonked myself with the microphone. Sorry about that. My stand broke, so of course I'm literally holding the microphone and I just bonked it into my chin. Classy. All right, so I'm going to be reading right off of my phone what people said. But before we do, I wanted to share some of my own favorite Christmas traditions and things that I've experienced in my past with you because I just love Christmas. I think my parents did such a good job of making it both about Jesus, but also a magical time of year. And we live in Wisconsin, so it does get pretty cold. Usually we have a white Christmas, but at least it's always very cold. It's never warm on Christmas. So while I'm not a cold person, I enjoy the cold weather this time of year. I wish it would be gone in January, but I enjoy it just for the cozy vibes that you can, make with Christmas. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience. Obviously, Christmas has changed over the years for me as I've gotten older and my siblings have gotten older. I'm the oldest of 12 kids. I'm 26 at the time of this recording. My youngest sister is 5 and my oldest daughter's 3. So it's where my parents stopped at number 12. I just kind of picked up that same age gap that most of my siblings have. So it's we're one long extended family, and it's just so much fun. I love that my daughters feel like sisters to my youngest sisters because at least right now I don't feel like their sister. I don't know that I ever really will because they are, so much younger than me. But I love that I have kids who get to experience them like their sisters. So it's so sweet. But anyway, for a long time, we used to go to my dad's mom and dad's house. They lived in Chicago in a very tiny little house by Midway Airport, and he is one of 16 kids. So you think 12 is big. He was the youngest of 16. And my grandma and grandpa would always host Christmas Eve at their house. So we would head to Chicago. We would go to Christmas Eve Mass. I think it was at 4:30 p.m. And then we would head back to their tiny house. And when I say it was packed, you guys, it was packed. It's standing room only, and not even standing room, standing in a crowd. It almost felt like you're at a concert in the standing only section where it's just crowded, packed in. I'm not even exaggerating with that. To walk, you have to shuffle your way through people. That's how many people were there in their tiny house, and I loved it. It was so much fun. So what they would do is they would close off the basement. Also, this episode is going to be pretty PG, but just in case you have some little ears around, maybe pop some earbuds in just because I'm not going to be censoring what I'm talking about in this episode if you're picking up what I'm throwing down about a very special character at Christmas time. Okay, so Fair warning. Okay. I put it out there. I just, as a mom of littles, I like to hear that. Okay, so what they would do is they would close off the basement and you couldn't go down there for the beginning half of the night. We'd go to mass together and then we'd come back to grandma and grandpa's house and they would all order pizza. Everyone just kind of chipped in and we had pizza and tons of cookies. They always did a family cookie exchange, which they did like usually a week or two before Christmas, where all the siblings and in-laws and anyone who wants to participate bakes a ton of cookies, and then they all come to my grandma's house and you just have a cookie exchange. You like take your tin and you go around and take cookies from each tray, and it's like an old-fashioned cookie exchange. So cool. But they always have a huge platter of cookies from that cookie exchange. And then my grandma would always also make a rum cake. And when I say this was a strong rum cake, it was like, is there any cake with this rum? No, I'm just kidding. But it was a strong rum cake. Like as kids, we were not allowed to eat it. I don't think I would have liked it anyway, because, you know, as a kid, you don't want bitter cake. But she would make a rum cake and put the little Jesus in the hay on top of the cake. And we would always sing happy birthday to Jesus. I'm getting the order of events wrong, but I'm just recalling the fun things that we would do. So she'd make a rum cake and we'd sing happy birthday to Jesus. We'd have pizza. And then kind of after dinner, they would, this was like the big kid code. We would all look out their big porch window looking over the garage because Santa and his elves would come deliver presents for us. And Santa and the elves, we'd always catch them running away from the house. They'd like ho, ho, ho and dance, and then they'd run. Well, we always knew he was coming because the big kids saw some blue light. Like, I don't know what this blue light was. I never saw it, but they always saw a blue light, and that means Santa's coming soon. So we would all go wait on the porch. We would sing Christmas songs and all like crowd in around their big window. It was so fun, especially when I was little and there were lots of like little cousins at the same time. It was a lot of fun. And then we'd see Santa. Sometimes he would surprise us and he would come up the basement stairs and into the house. We'd be looking out the window and all of a sudden we hear ho, ho, ho behind us and he would be in the house. So that was always cool. And then he'd run away before like we could get to him. And then after Santa came, we got to all go downstairs and open presents. And it was usually godparent presents. So like godparents would give their kids their presents, or you'd give your godparent a present. But then for the little kids, Santa would bring a present too. So it wasn't like the full Christmas morning present spread, but it was like a present from Santa, which was really fun. And yeah, that was just like so many good memories. And then we would usually either drive to my other grandparents' house who lived like 30 minutes away and stay the night and spend Christmas morning there. But I don't really remember a ton of that because we started driving back home to our house from what I can remember, which is probably like ages 9, 10, 11, 12. Like that's the time I really start to remember this a lot more. So that was fun. And then we would drive home and we would be pretty much sleeping in the car, and we'd wake up on Christmas morning. And then my family's traditions on Christmas morning would be, so they live in a like bi-level house. So we'd all wait up at the top of the stairs for mom and dad to get up. And before we could go down and see the presents and all of that, we would open up the Bible and read the Christmas story. So we would read the Bible, read the Christmas story, and then we could go down the stairs. And they have a really long staircase, and then like the living room is on one side. So we would walk down the staircase, youngest to oldest. So I always was last, being the oldest, but we'd walk down one at a time to see the presents, and then we'd all find a spot in the room, hand out presents, and we'd open them one at a time, again, youngest to oldest. We'd go in a circle one at a time, and we always got 3 presents for the 3 wise men. You know, they brought 3 presents to Jesus, so Santa always brought us 3 presents, which was really, really fun. The other thing we would do is we would leave reindeer food outside, which if you've never done that, it's usually just like oats and glitter or something like that, or carrots. Some years we would put carrots outside. But we'd have something for the reindeer, so we'd like to go see that was gone, that they ate it. If it was carrots, they were usually like nibbled carrots, or the oats were gone or something like that. And then Santa, we would always leave a letter with milk and cookies, and he would write back and always write something about how Jesus is the reason for the season, always point it back to Jesus. So that was kind of our Christmas morning. And then we would have, casserole, and we'd just spend the day really relaxing, enjoying family time together, very low key. It was so much fun. There's one time I remember, I had to have been probably like 5, 4, 5, or 6 because it was before we moved, and we moved when I was 7. So we were living in Minnesota at the time, and we went to Christmas Eve Mass. We didn't go into Chicago that year for some reason. We went to Christmas Eve Mass, and I clearly remember, this is my favorite Christmas memory of all time. We got home from Mass, and Santa had come while we were at Mass. Oh my gosh, if you want to like convince your kids for life, it was the craziest thing because my parents were with me the whole time. We were at church. We came back. Santa had come. The presents were under the tree, and he left snowy boot prints on the floor. It was the coolest thing, you guys. Like, I still think of it. I'm like, that was the most magical moment. I love it. And if you're curious, we were on the like Santa debate. Like, should we do it? Should we not? I think we finally arrived at we are gonna do it. We're gonna treat him like a character, like Cinderella. Like, you wouldn't tell your kid, like, no, Cinderella's not real. Especially like if you go to Disney World and she's like, look, it's Cinderella. You wouldn't be like, no, that's not Cinderella. You wouldn't do that. Like, they're a character, and for a while, especially until kids are like 7, 8, that's real. Like, they can't differentiate really between like imaginary and real life. And so once they get to that age, we're never gonna lie. Like, if they flat out ask, like, like, are you Santa? Like, do you bring the presents? Yes. Like, yes. But is Santa real? Yeah, Santa is real. Santa is Saint Nick, and like, he is real, and we'll teach about his life and all of those kind of things. So I think that's what we decided we're gonna do. We're never gonna flat out lie to our kids, but Santa's not a flat out lie because Saint Nick is a real person. We'll teach about his story and all of that kind of fun stuff. So, and like regarding things like elves, if they ask like, elves, like, like, well, I've never actually seen one in person, but who knows? I mean, truly, who knows? There are so many things in the universe that God created that we don't even know exist yet. Like, we haven't discovered so much of what God has created. So truly, who knows? Like, these are mythical stories, but they might be real. Like, we don't actually know until we get to heaven. So anyway, that's kind of how we plan to approach it. And we just made that decision a couple weeks ago because it's almost Christmas time. One other fun thing that I wanted to share that we do, which we started in recent years, I'd say we started it, like a year or two before we got married. So probably 6 or 7 years ago, we started this tradition of family game, like Christmas games, but it's like minute to win it style games. So it's really fun. We hosted it in our apartment the year we were just married. Otherwise, it's usually been at my parents' house. And I know this year my sister wants to host it. They just got married. She wants to host it in their house. But it's so fun. What we do is we play a bunch of like minute to win it games. So for example, like a marshmallow on a spoon and you have to do a relay race, or a candy cane, a hook, and you have to like pick up stuff with the candy cane in your mouth, no hands. And then we always end it, this is the best part, with a saran wrap, plastic wrap, ball unwrapping game. And you might be like, what the heck is that? So at the center of it is like a gift card, and you wrap it really, really good with plastic wrap. And then it forms like a ball. And so you start adding little like candy or prizes. Usually we'll do like cozy socks, lots of candy, sometimes scrunchies as like the prizes. And you like just wrap these things into the plastic ball, if that makes sense. And so it's just this plastic wrap that you would put over food, and you wrap it really tight, and you have to open it with gloves on. So it's actually not easy to unroll this ball. Like, you'd think it's easy, but it's not. It's not easy to unroll it, especially when it gets to the center of the ball and it's all wrapped multiple ways. It's really hard to unwrap. And so you have to unwrap it with gloves on. And what you do is the person on your right or left, you can decide, is rolling 2 dice. And they roll until they get doubles. So like 2 1s, 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 4s. You get the idea. And as soon as they do, you have to stop. And then you pass the ball to them, and they pass the dice. And you go around like unrolling this ball until it's completely unraveled and someone wins the gift card at the center. It's hilarious. Like, people are laughing, crying every single year. Like, this game is so fun. It's so intense. It is awesome. I think everyone needs to play it at least once in their lifetime because it is so much fun. If I can find a video of it, watch this on YouTube, and I'll include a video of us playing that game because it is so funny. And I just literally, like, I think I've peed my pants laughing so hard when we play this game sometimes. It's awesome. You know how sometimes a single image can stop you, soften you, almost open a window in your heart? Hannah Briley, owner of Mangio Arts, believes that's no accident because it's through our hearts that we encounter beauty, and beauty is the doorway to God, a doorway that invites us into conversion time and time again. That's why the art we place in our home matters. We all need those small daily encounters with Christ, glimpses of Him woven right into the rhythm of our everyday life. From beautiful images of Our Lady, visual reflections on Christ and the saints, to scenes that reflect holiness of everyday life, Hannah Briley pours prayer and intentionality into each art piece created. But she also knows that beauty is personal, which is why Mangio Arts offers custom commissions as well, such as family portraits, pet portraits, house paintings, custom saint devotions, and so much more. Know a couple who would love their wedding photo transformed into one-of-a-kind art? Or a family moving to a new home who wants to capture the memories of a place they leave behind? Mangio Arts can capture those moments for you in a beautiful, irreplaceable work of art. Whether in wood burning, watercolor, or charcoal, each piece is handcrafted to be cherished for years to come. If you're longing to surround your family with art that nourishes the soul, shop Mangio Arts store on Etsy and use the code WOMANPODCAST15 for 15% off your order. You can also support Hannah by following her on social media at Mangio Arts. That's MANGIO Arts, where you can find additional links for commission requests and exclusive access to deals and upcoming events through her monthly newsletter. She looks forward to sharing her artwork with you, and she hopes she can bring unique beauty into your home. If you've ever thought, I wish I actually understood my cycle, this is for you. The Fertility 101 full course from BOMA USA, the Billings Method, teaches you how to read your natural fertility signs with confidence and clarity. You'll start with a live intro class over Zoom and then get 4 private chart reviews with a certified instructor. BOMA's method is simple, science-based, and 100% natural. And the best part is you don't need to rely on an app or algorithm. This course also counts for pre-Cana marriage prep if you need an NFP certificate for your marriage prep. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and actually understand your body, go to BOMA, BOMA-USA.org and sign up for the Fertility 101 full course. You can use the discount code Catholic20 for the full course, or if you're not ready for the full course yet, they have a one-time class you can sign up for, and you can also use the discount code Catholic5 for that one-time $50 class. So check out BOMA, BOMA-USA.org, and use the code Catholic20 on their full fertility course, or Catholic5 for the one-time $50 class. Trust me, NFP and learning your fertility has totally changed my life and my health, and I highly encourage every single woman, whether you're single, engaged, or married, to do so as well. So that's kind of our little Christmas traditions that we've done with our family. We are planning to mostly, at least for now, I'm sure, again, it'll change as kids get older, as ours did when as I got older and the other siblings got older. But for now, we're going to do Christmas Eve for sure with my parents. And usually, even though we live kind of close, I think it's fun to stay the night and do Santa over there in the morning, just because, I don't know, it's just fun. Like my kids love my younger siblings, and it's just, the more people you have, the more magical and fun it is, I think. So we'll do that at least for now, and then maybe eventually we'll start doing our own Christmas morning here or something like that. But that's not our plan for now. We've done Christmas over there since we've been married, and we've loved it. We always stay overnight Christmas Eve. Oh, and then the other thing I forgot. Another Christmas Eve tradition. So now that we don't go into Chicago, we go to Christmas Eve Mass with my parents. And when we come home, my mom puts on a shepherd's dinner, which is beautiful. This is my new favorite thing as an adult. So she's got like these blue, dark blue, deep blue tablecloths that she puts along all the walls. She puts like fairy lights draping the walls, and then tons of pillar candles and tea lights everywhere. And so we only eat with candlelight and these like little fairy lights. It's beautiful. It's supposed to represent what the shepherds would have been seeing. Like, it would have been really dark in the field. It would have been starry. So you're kind of bringing yourself into the situation. It's not exactly the same, obviously, but you're putting yourself in the shepherd's perspective of where they would have been on Christmas night. And then we have a very simple dinner of like soup and bread and cheese and olives or something like that. Just something very simple like shepherds would have had. It's my personal favorite thing as an adult now. I love it. I look forward to it so much. It's just so emotional and it just really puts you there. Like it just puts you there in Bethlehem on Christmas Eve and what it would have been like. Obviously, it would have been cold in Bethlehem, but it is the Middle East, so it wouldn't have been as cold as Wisconsin. But it would have been cold, and it would have been dark. And it's not, obviously, you can't remake that in America today. But it's just a beautiful way to semi-insert yourself into what it would have been like to be there the night Jesus was born. And it's just a beautiful way to kind of calm down the night and really reflect on Jesus's birth. So I absolutely love that. If you've never done a shepherd's dinner before, I would encourage looking into doing one. Like I said, it's really just like a dinner by only candlelight and a very simple meal, soup and bread or something like that. Super easy. And then you can read the Christmas story or you could put on chant or just eat in silence. Like it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love doing it. It's a little hard with little kids, but we just, let them go run around in a different room when they're done and the adults can sit and talk and it's just beautiful. So I'd recommend a shepherd's dinner if you've never done that before. All right, so now, again, I just hit my microphone. I'm sorry if you guys are hearing this. Let's dive into some of the Christmas traditions and stories you guys have. Okay, first one is from Ashley Galloway. My grandfather is a contractor. Building is in our veins. And many, many years ago, he built a small stable with large figurines that he sets up in their front yard. Every year on Christmas Eve, the youngest child gets to carry out the baby Jesus and place him in the manger with fresh straw as everyone else processes with candlelight. And sometimes my siblings that play guitar and violin will play an instrumental Christmas song as we do, which really just sets the stage. We'll all say a prayer of thanksgiving for the year past and ask for blessings on the year to come before singing happy birthday to Jesus and blowing out the candles. It's such a peaceful and joyful moment and sort of marks Christmas is here for us, and that we'll go back inside and open gifts and celebrate as a family. We've done that for my whole entire life, and it's always been a favorite part of our traditions for me. That is so sweet. I literally, I don't know if you can see, I have chills. That is beautiful. I love that. Love that. Oh my goodness. Okay, next one is from Lucy. I'm just going to not say last names because I'm going to butcher them. This is from Lucy. We would always get an orange and a potato in our stockings on St. Nick's Day. An orange means you've been good, and a potato means a little naughty as well. A tradition I'll carry on with my kiddos someday. That's so funny. I've always done oranges, but I didn't know about the potatoes. I love that, a little naughty, because to be fair, we're all sinners. So I love that, the potato. This one comes from Jessica. We go into the woods and cut down our Christmas tree every year. It's fun and the trees stay healthy all through Advent. That is so fun. I would love to eventually have a real Christmas tree. I just feel like I couldn't manage that in our apartment, but I love that. That sounds so fun. And I can't help but think of, what's my favorite Christmas movie? It's literally my favorite one with Clark Griswold. Christmas Vacation. There you go. It makes me think of Christmas Vacation and where they had to yank the tree out by the roots. That's awesome. This one comes from Miriam. Growing up for Advent, we used to make a bed for baby Jesus by doing good deeds so it was full by Christmas time. Anytime we did something good, we would add a piece of hay to his crib so it was full by his arrival, an incentive to get kids to be good. I love that. Better than Elf on the Shelf. So cute. And I love that you every little deed adds to his manger, his bed. That is so sweet, and it just shows how our acts of kindness really do pile up. I love that. Gonna be stealing that when my kids are older. This one comes from Monica. The three wise men brought gifts on the Epiphany. It was always a book, a game, and a CD. That's so fun. I love that, and I have always heard of people doing Epiphany gifts, but we never have, so I love that. I might have to be stealing that. Very fun. This one comes from Madison. We read The Night Before Christmas and The Christmas Story. I love those, and I love that you read them before bed. That's so fun. And we always read the Christmas story in the morning, but I feel like we should be reading The Night Before Christmas too. That's so fun. Thank you for sharing. This one comes from Hannah. Hannah said 7 fishes, which I've never heard of. So I clarified and I said, tell me more. She said, my family never really did it, but my husband's family did. It's a classic Italian Christmas Eve tradition where you have a large feast incorporating 7 different types of fish or seafood. And I believe the tradition of the fish came from the practice of fasting from meat the eve of celebrating Christ's birth. That is so cool. I have never heard of that, and I'm going to be looking more into the 7 fish tradition. This one came from Joanna. My brother started doing train night for us. He's the youngest sibling and has 4 nieces and nephews. He makes us dinner, sets up his Christmas train set for the kids, and we watch the Polar Express with surround sound, and it's very immersive. At the hot chocolate part of the movie, he pauses and serves everyone hot chocolate to enjoy for the rest of the movie, slowly becoming our favorite tradition. That is so fun. Every time we watch that movie, we always have to have hot chocolate too. But I love that it's like a full immersive experience with his train and that he treats you guys to it. That is so fun. What a cool uncle for your kids. This one comes from Anna. Not Christmas, but we do St. Nicholas Day. The kids put their shoes out on the night of December 5th, and they wake up to find chocolate coins, oranges, and a toy or something fun in their shoes. It's something I grew up doing, and I love doing it with my kids. I love that. We also celebrate St. Nick's Day, and growing up, we would always get oranges, chocolate coins, and matching Christmas pajamas. That's what we would always get. I kind of want to continue that on for my kids because I think it's so fun. I love that. Who else celebrates St. Nick Day? Tell me in the comments because I'm always curious how many people do that. This one comes from Sarah. What we are doing this year. Shoes out the night before St. Nicholas Day, waking up to chocolate coins, oranges, and a Catholic-themed Christmas book. We don't have a fireplace, so putting them by the front door. When I was little, my mom had the St. Nicholas key she would put on the door so he could get in. That's clever if you don't have a fireplace. I like that. Also, driving around looking at Christmas lights with hot chocolate on the Feast of St. Lucy. Love that you tie it into St. Lucy. We have like light shows in the area we like to drive through, but oh my goodness, tying it into St. Lucy's feast day. Brilliant. Gonna be stealing that as well. Also, she said, Jessie Tree sticker book with flip cards to match the sticker of the day. There's a couple of toddler appropriate sentences about the sticker of the day. That is cool. I have never done a Jessie Tree. I've seen them. I just don't understand them, but I would love to see a toddler version. That's really fun. Love that. Thank you, Sarah. This one comes from, I believe her name is Sherry Lynn. I'm just guessing based on the handle. Finding the pickle in the Christmas tree and obviously a birthday cake for Jesus. Okay, I have heard about the pickle in the Christmas tree tradition, but I don't actually know. I've heard of a pickle in a Christmas tree, but nobody has explained what it is to me. So if you're someone who does a pickle in a Christmas tree, please come explain to me in my DMs at the Catholic Woman Podcast or in our Facebook group or comment on this episode so that I can understand what the pickle in the tree is because I'm very intrigued and that is totally something I would love to try to do. This one comes from Ellie. Decorating tradition. My dad made a sign that reads, Happy Birthday, Jesus, and we put it front and center of our house. I love that. I am very much a pro keep Christ in Christmas person because it really bothers me when people take it out. He's literally the reason for the season. So I love that your dad does that. That's so cool. Okay, this one comes from Nats, I think. We bake a cake for Jesus and sing happy birthday on Christmas morning. My mom started it when we were kids, and I still love doing that. That's so sweet. This one comes from Sarah. Starting a new one this year that my mom did when we were little. Wrap 24 Christmas books up in purple or pink tissue and open one each night in December. That's so cute. I love that idea. Purple or pink for the week of Advent. That's so fun. This one comes from Erin. Reading Jotham's Journey and others in series in the subsequent years every night of Advent, lighting the candles on the Advent wreath, and finishing the story Christmas morning before opening presents. Loved that story time together with my family. That's so cool. And actually, one year we read Jotham's Journey, and I remember loving it, but I can't remember the book. I literally can't remember what it was about, but I remember loving it. I'm gonna have to pick that up. So Jotham's Journey, if anyone wants to incorporate that, that's so fun. Family reading time together is great. This one comes from Sally. Midnight Mass. Then on Christmas Day, my family stays home in our jammies and grazes all day long on cookies and leftovers. I gift my 8 and 13-year-olds a new book and give them it when we get to church. Those minutes just having to wait after we pray are difficult for kids, so they sit quietly and read until Mass begins. Then we go home and go to sleep in matching jammings. That's so fun. I love that. Midnight Mass is on my bucket list because I love that. This one is from Lyanna. Sing happy birthday to Jesus and put him in the manger first thing in the morning. Love that. It was so cute hearing all your traditions. There are a few more, but I'm going to cap it at that because I think those are some of the cutest ones. I love it, you guys. Continue telling me your Christmas traditions. Share pictures in our Facebook group, please. I'm always looking for new things to do with our kids and ways to make the season fun and special. And I just want to wish you guys a very, very Merry Christmas. Also, I would really like to thank Mangio Arts and Boma USA for sponsoring this episode. Thank you guys. Go check them out. They are such wonderful businesses too, doing the Lord's work. Truly, truly, truly. Also, if you like the show, please a good reminder to leave a 5-star review to help boost us in the algorithm, get the show out to new Catholic women who would really benefit from listening or watching. And then also, please share this episode or your favorite episode with a friend to help get the show out to new people as well. Sharing really, really does make a difference. And I'm just so thankful you guys are here. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas. And I will see you in 2 weeks in the new year.